What's going on, hold on. What's going on, everyone? This is Paul Newell, and I'm here with Vince Falone, my mentor and my guide in this life experience. He is a fantastic gentleman, and we're both co-facilitators for an event called The Bridge that's happening on Sunday, September 16th. You all are familiar with me. I do yoga, coaching, public speaking. But Vince, can you just tell them a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, Paul. Well, first, thanks for the opportunity to hang out with you. It's always a delight, and to speak to your friends. Yeah, I've been in practice in a bodywork practice doing craniosacral for about 35 years, and I also have a coaching practice called Live in Full Expression. And I'm also connected with the Mankind Project, where I am a certified co-leader, and connected with that nonprofit for 23 years. And I guess kind of what led me to this with you, Paul, I've facilitated groups in personal growth and greater awareness for a long time, and that's how I met Paul, through our men's organization, and here we are.
Yes, here we are. And Vince gave me a great opportunity. I guess it was last year. It was the first one that you invited me to participate in this event called The Bridge. And I got to tell you, when you and Lenny first put this out here, I was intrigued because you and Lenny were the first two to do it.
Yeah.
Like, just you two as facilitators.
The first one we did alone, yeah.
Yeah, so this event, I was intrigued by it. So when Vince invited me to be a part of it, it was an honor because I hold him in high regard and I really respect him. And the bridge, I've been involved in the Mankind Project for 4 years, and I felt that when I was a part of it and I saw the outline and actually went through it, I felt that this is a powerful event for men. So, because this is the first time you all are meeting Vince, or for most of you, because a lot of my friends also know Vince. Vince, can you just give the viewers some insight, especially the men that are watching or the women that may want this event for their men? Can you just give some insight on what came up for you when you and Lenny decided to create this?
Yeah, well, first, before that, it was easy. I spotted Paul as a great facilitator and teacher when I first met him on his weekend, and really bringing Paul in as an asset, and also Scotty Freed, who is another powerful man in our community, which did two things. It brought in diversity, but not just the obvious diversity, just the background. Paul has a great background, as you all know, in movement, martial arts, healing, and that added a dimension to the bridge we didn't have before we brought Paul in. So, to answer your question, a good friend of mine, actually he was the best man at my wedding, Dr. Lenny Izzo. He's out in Long Island, and we have been friends for the better part of 35 years. And we always talk about the Mankind Project, which is the group Paul and I are connected to, and how do we create a forum for men to dive deep into the energy and experience of our work, rather than a little bit of a snippet here or a couple hours of an experience maybe at an I group or meeting with a few men. So Lenny had this idea that he wanted to put together this more intense experience, something that would really give men the energetic feel for what our work is about. And so we started talking about it, and he brought up the idea of domestication. And that's really the thread through this, with the thought being that most men in this culture are domesticated. Domesticated through culture, through family, through religion, through jobs, to fit a certain mold. And there's a price to pay in that. And the price we saw that most men pay is that they don't tap into a resourceful part of themselves that we call primal energy. And so even though the bridge is about getting an experience and also some knowledge of our weekend and of MKP, in itself, those 5 hours create a container for a man to tap into that primal energy and really consider how that could support him in his personal life, his relationships, in his health, in his job, his career, his purpose, his mission, his religion.
Yep.
If he taps into that reservoir of that primal energy, then it could be it could amplify everything else. What did you think about that?
Well, when you said primal energy, and the reaction I had when you said, first of all, domestication and primal energy, those are the things that really struck out to me when I saw the outline and when we went through it. Because I felt that when we were going through the workshop, and the several ones that we've conducted since the first one I got onto it, I've seen how the men react to domestication, and then when they tap into the primal fear. Right. Because my judgment, and I'll speak for myself, is that when I got involved with the project, and then seeing how there were ways like I was put in different boxes based on whatever the scenario is, whether it's like, okay, being a 43-year-old man, being a corporate guy, being an entrepreneur, like being a black man, or whatever it was, there was boxes that I was put in that started to dull me. And then as I talked to more people that have gone through the bridge, and that have actually end up going through the New Warrior Weekend and getting involved in what Vince was talking about before, I groups, which are men's circles that we have within MKP, I saw that men were like, wow, I'm starting to come into my own. And that's not always easy. That's why I feel like what you and Lenny created with the bridge and what we've been doing within the Metro New York community has been powerful, because it gives men that haven't even gone to the weekend or that may not know about this kind of work, it gives them I feel like it helps men remember.
Man, I'm just going to say that, Paul. I mean,
help remember. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's about awakening, awakening to a deeper sense of authentic power. And what happens, and part of what we cover in the bridge, is what happens when we repress that power. And that's where we bring in the whole concept of shadow. If men don't tap into that authentic power, it comes out, it comes out sideways.
Yep.
And it could be dangerous. And we see our world today, a lot of powerful men with a lot of power coming out in ways that's really not aligned with who they are.
Right.
So that's another piece of it. It's understanding the shadow behavior that's informing us on how to make choices. Realizing that our shadow behavior is all about keeping us safe and having choices that keep us safe. Now, keeping safe doesn't necessarily mean keeping us fulfilled or on purpose or on mission. And so part of what we talk about in the bridge is how do we reclaim that sacred primal power?
Right. That's I feel like that's something that really, after everyone's done, like after we're done for the day on the bridge, and seeing the men, that to me, it feels like they're cracked wide open.
Well, that blows me away, because really, this is only about a 5-hour experience.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And in that 5 hours, they go through that transformation.
Yes.
Because there's just the right amount of pressure to have a man touch into something that he's longing to touch into. And at the end, there is a look of remembrance on their face. They start to remember, oh yeah, who I am and why I'm here, and have a little more clarity. And in that short amount of time, these 30 strangers who get together on a Sunday afternoon in New York City have this deep bond. And so we try to do the bridge because the bridge is giving them the experience they would have if they came to one of our weekends, the New Warrior Training Adventure. And by itself, there are men who've just done the bridge, and it has just shifted their perception.
Truth.
And gave them tools to really tap into a resource that just from that 5-hour experience has put their life in a different direction. Somebody said to me once,
yeah, true.
If you just tap the rudder in someone's boat, you don't know, but in about 5 years they're in a whole nother direction. And I always love that analogy because it's not a big slap and not a big knock this 5 hours, but it's enough just to shift perception a little bit.
I'm using that. I'm using that example. because I feel like this is really helpful information.
Yeah.
And if you want more, come to the bridge. When I post this, I'm going to post the link to register online. This is a free event for men only. It's from 12 o'clock to 5 p.m. on Sunday, September 16th in New York City at Ripley Greer Studios, 520 8th Avenue. Men, if this resonated with you, if you're a woman watching this and you feel like the man in your life or men in your life would benefit, we highly encourage them to tap in. I highly encourage you to tap into this workshop because Vince mentioned something. This is about these men connecting. And when I do men's work and we do the facilitation and like we have these workshops, one of the key things I hear from men when they come into the workshop is they're looking for connection.
Right.
And that's connection with other men so that they can speak honestly and authentically, and also connection with themselves.
Yeah.
Which I think is just as important.
Yeah, maybe a part of themselves that they haven't discovered yet, and a part that they have longed to meet.
There it is. So if you're ready to meet that part of yourself, or if there's something within you that's calling, tap onto that link to register below. For now, this is Paul and this is Vince. Vince, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Look forward to meeting you.
Yeah, this guy's the best. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Be well. And men, hope to see you at the bridge on Sunday.